All right. Let's see. More. I'm not quite that. And looks like I got sound. Let me double check. This is muted. Actually, we can just pause this one. We don't really need this one. Oh, we can. Oh, let me turn off the YouTube chat. And actually, I'll drop the description in. I still haven't written a new description. I need to do that. All right, let me double check the YouTube here. Yeah, chat disabled, okay. Yeah, sorry if folks are watching on YouTube and you want to chat there, I apologize, but the YouTube doesn't have seemingly any kind of reasonable spam filter, and I get far more ridiculous spam than I do actual participation when I stream under my own account on YouTube, so I just disabled the YouTube chat for now. C. Grover, good morning. Well, it's morning where I'm at. Good day at least. Happy Saturday. Okay. All right. So I guess let's do a quick introduction. My name is Tim for folks that might be new. I go by foamyguy on GitHub and Discord and YouTube, some other places. So during the stream, I'll be working on CircuitPython stuff. Today we're going a little bit more meta with it. We're working on some kind of infrastructure stuff in the libraries, kind of making a small change, but trying to do it across all the libraries. And then I'll get back into the SpriteButton stuff, which I started last night with any time that's left. But if we rewind a bit, if you're new and you don't know what I'm talking about, this is all about CircuitPython. This is a website where you can learn more, circuitpython.org. Basically, we're writing Python code that can run on these tiny computers called microcontrollers. This one is actually one of the larger ones, I would say, but they're still relatively small. So the main chip right here is actually a whole computer inside of there. And this one happens to have a Wi-Fi chip and an SD card, and obviously a big old color touchscreen on the front. It's got a touch overlay on it as well, so we can actually touch the button and have stuff happen. So we're writing Python code that runs on these types of devices. There are lots of different shapes and sizes. This one happens to have a screen on the front, making it look like a little tablet or something, but there are lots of them with no screens and lots of I/O pins. You can connect up other sensors and things. Like this one over here, I have a different kind of one of the ones with the screens, but I also have a sensor plugged in here. So we're writing Python code and it can read values from the sensor and display it on the screen and do stuff like that. This happens to be a magnetometer, but there's also accelerometers and temperature sensors and CO2 sensors and really all kinds of sensors, light sensors, sound sensors, all kinds of stuff, as well as LEDs, speakers, beepers, buzzers, you name it. You can pretty much hook them up to these microcontrollers, and therefore we can also write Python code to control them. So that's kind of the high level look at what we're doing. If you want to get involved, you can check out on that circuitpython.org page. There's a contributing link. This is a good place to start if you want to get involved with development. You can also head over to the Discord, which is shown down below or in the live broadcast chat, but there's also a CircuitPython dev chat where all the folks working on the project tend to meet up and collaborate. So you can head there. If you do want to help support the project, but not necessarily get involved in development, You can do that by purchasing hardware from Adafruit. This is the company that is providing the financial backing for the project, so they're paying the folks who work on the project full-time. Some folks like me who work on the project part-time are being paid by Adafruit for that. So, if you purchase hardware from them, you are kind of helping support the CircuitPython project. And they, of course, make the microcontrollers, like this device I have here is an Adafruit device. That sensor I showed you was also an Adafruit device. They create all sorts of microcontrollers and sensors. They also stock third-party stuff, like Unexpected Maker is a community member who just released some microcontrollers this week. Unexpected Maker, let's show those up real fast. You may know of Unexpected Maker from the ESP32S2. Was their Feather. Feather S2 was like the first ESP32S2 Feather, I think. And they have now released some S3 boards. So they stock, third-party stuff as well. And so, yeah, if you'll consider purchasing from them, that definitely helps all of us out who work on the project. Paul SK, good morning. Yep, Dexter, how's it going? So, first thing for today is actually a bit of a continuation from one of the rabbit holes we started last night, which was about the Discord badge not showing on Read the Docs. 1 second, I'm gonna put the blinds up a little bit real fast. Okay, blinds are gonna get wrecked if I don't move them out of the way. So the Discord badge it just got changed over to a little bit fancier one that's customized for Adafruit on all the libraries. And this is the badge that shows on GitHub. It also shows in Read the Docs, and it turned out that Read the Docs doesn't resolve the file the right way, whereas GitHub has some special rules that allow it to work. So I think we have the fix for it already. We actually pushed it yesterday to the test repo. I don't know why exactly it didn't pass actions. I saw the message for that. You try to look into that. Does pre-commit processing? Unicode fun from Click. This is vaguely familiar. This rings a bell. I want to say this was just a version thing. Does the previous one fail for the same reason? Yeah, it totally did. I think this is like a version of Black or a version of Click. Something like that. I don't actually know exactly where that is configured either. Black. Well, it would be in pre-commit, I guess, probably. Yeah, so Black here we have 20.8b1. Let's look at a different library. .22.30, yeah. I don't know the specific issues for that like exact function or whatever. I think this is just a problem though with the old version of Black. Maybe it's like old version of Black and a new version of Click, or vice versa, or something like that. I think that's the problem we're having though. I wonder, are there any other changes? Image load. worth trying, because we could just update it all the way if there are. So what does this think? Oh. So the indentation didn't work right. Oh, the indention's gone. Interesting. I don't know if that's problematic or not. What is this, YAML? Does YAML care about whitespace? I mean, it's kind of Python-y in the way that its stuff is indented. It would seem like maybe it does. I don't actually know, though. It does look like the only change other than the indentation, though, is version. We want a new line at the end of this? No, okay. This is one of the few files it looks like. I guess it doesn't get a blank line. Okay. Hey, Kinger North. Thanks for the follow. Good. I guess we don't really need to say that. Pre-commit config, we can just say that. And I'm just going to push this to the branch that already has the PR open. What? Oh. So this contains the actual fix for, yeah, I guess let me mention actually the fact that okay. This does contain the actual fix for the badge, which was just changing the URL out, basically. The gist of it is GitHub has some extra special fancy rule where they recognize that this URL ordinarily would return an HTML web page, right? Like the server returned to me this entire HTML web page. Even though technically we kind of requested a single file, it gave me a web page about that file rather than just directly the file itself. But somehow GitHub, when you're showing like the README, it knows to convert that web page down to just the raw file instead, basically. So if we look at the actual branch here, it drew this thing correctly. Adafruit Discord. I don't know how it does that exactly, but it's something to do with the fact that because that web page is built by GitHub, somehow it figured it out. I think we failed still. But what we really need for read the docs and most other things is fix into files. That's weird. So this one doesn't have the space at the end. But still passed. I don't know about that. That seems odd. We can just... So that's the change we want to make, but the tricky part is we want to make it to all the libraries, and we have like 300 plus libraries to do it to. Give or take some. I don't know the exact number of Adafruit libraries specifically. We just hit 350 total, but that includes community bundle, and I don't know the breakdown. We have a lot though, enough that we definitely don't want to try and just do it manually one by one. So what I'm going to do is kind of like use some scripts to do it to all of them. And I've done a couple other things like this in the past, and so I'm going to kind of reuse some of the stuff from that. Kind of just structure this roughly the same, I think. Maybe files. I think I moved that to the root of the bundle. I'm gonna grab a couple of things like this script, which makes it quick and easy to get a new copy of the bundle and pull all the stuff inside of it, update everything. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this folder too, but I'm actually gonna change some stuff from it, and then I guess, yeah, actually well, we don't need these two. Grab all of this stuff. Put this here. I did already actually clone the bundle and updated all the submodules and everything, so we don't need to run that right now. Eventually we'll probably wipe it out and do it again, but I figured I would start that one ahead of time since it takes it a minute or two. I don't know, it's not that long, but I figured I could knock it out ahead of time. So first thing is I want to rename this folder. And it's kind of weird, like I could generalize the name for this folder and stop renaming it every time, but I actually kind of like having a fair bit of manual stuff to do. Because we're gonna, like, if we end up running this thing in its final form, we're gonna be pushing to hundreds of libraries. So the potential for like accidentally making a mistake gets multiplied by a lot. If we accidentally make a mistake, it's gonna be in all the libraries. So having like a fair amount of manual stuff in there is, I think, actually a good thing, because it slows you down and makes you really consider, like, are you sure you actually want to do all of this stuff, basically? Should buy the last Pro S3. Was there one in stock when I was there? So one thing is I kind of like rename this thing each time, and then it's also nice because it makes it descriptive as well. And so basically the way this works is we have this file run on each, and this is where we'll make the specific change. So we're basically going to write a Python script that will open up the README file, find the old link to the SVG, change it to the new link to the SVG, and then that's it for the first time. But then after that, eventually what we'll do is that same script will also like make a commit and push. We're not going to do those first, of course, because we want to like do it and check it and make sure everything is good. Probably then we'll do like a small subset of them, and actually push them, you know, like 3 or 4, make sure everything is still good, and then go and do the rest of it. But like generally speaking, the approach is we have this run on each. We'll set this up to do the replacement for us, and then we use git submodule for each, and then we basically copy that run on each thing into each repo and run it, and then it does its changes and it adds and it commits and it pushes and it does everything for us. So we kind of like write a general script that will do that for us, and then use this submodule for each to kind of push that same script to run everywhere. How's it going, Dravy Dev? I don't know. Apologize, but I don't recognize the language. Is this? What is this? Or is this a person's name or something? I don't know what that is then. I am. We have that script. We have a couple other things that help us, like this one will go and make a text file that lists all of the libraries. The libraries are split into drivers and helpers. Could actually run this one for now. Oh, I think it needs to be inside. Wants to be inside the bundle. A song? Or a band or something? So this created these two files, which list out all of the libraries, the short names of them. And these are helpful because we can also use them with this remove submodules, which will read those files and then like remove dinit, I guess, is the specific action, but it will basically remove those submodules, all the ones that are in this file. So this is how we can do the subset first. We can kind of build a list, remove a couple from the list, like 3 or 4, and then run the remove submodules. That will get rid of all of them except those 3 or 4, and then we can do our for each, and it will only be on those 3 or 4. So that's helpful. We have a print submodules if we want to just see it get printed out. We have a copy docs files, which will basically copy the folder where we put our run on each. It'll copy that into each repo. So that's kind of the flow, is we'll like copy everything in and then run the run on each. It will do the rest, and then we'll feed all of that through Git for each submodule for each, so that it happens on each submodule. Oh, I didn't start the Twitch bot. We have a Twitch bot now. Doesn't have too many commands, but it's got a couple. Twitch bot. Oh. Well, we had a Twitch bot. Unable to be joined. I don't know, it looks pretty valid to me. Well, we had a Twitch bot the other day. Apparently it doesn't work anymore. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I didn't set today. Let's set today. If anybody's watching inside Twitch, there's now like exclamation point commands. If you run exclamation point list underscore commands, it will tell you which ones there are. Polish for hello. Oh, interesting. I tried to throw it in one and it didn't find anything. Maybe I just didn't use the right tree. I did it really quick as well. I wasn't paying super close attention. Thank you though for putting that in. Letting me know. Yeah, so this should be fairly easy. I think there's not going to be a whole lot to do. This one happens to be from last time that I did something like this, and I don't really need any of this stuff. One thing I guess we could have old badge URL, new badge URL. So it's already opening README. I don't think we need to split it to lines. So we will edit README string, and then we'll let it get written back out to README RST. And for now, I'm just going to turn off all of this stuff. Whoop. For now, we don't want to do anything with Git. We'll just make the change and check it. And so the actual change goes here. Of course, we need to grab our URLs. Fail again? No. Okay, succeeded this time. All right. List commands. List underscore commands, I think. Although maybe I should call it... Oh, no, I think I tried calling it commands and it didn't work. I tried calling it commands and I suspect that it got mad because commands is already a thing that you can do with this library. Like this right here, self.commands. I think somehow this makes it not want to use an actual command that's called commands. So I ended up with list_commands. Maybe we could do cmds, make a short one. Okay. We have our two URLs. So basically, I think we could just go replace old URL, new URL, but I also think we might as well not do it. We might as well not write the file, add the file, make the commit, do the push if we didn't actually make a change. So I think let's do if readme string, no, if old badge in readme string, then readme string dot replace old badge, new badge, and then we do this. And if we had any of this stuff on, we would do it inside of here. We can just print that if not. So I think that's probably good, honestly. Let's take this. I do know it needs to be inside of the root of the bundle. We don't really want to add it because we're not trying to add this like looping script thing to the repo. We're just trying to use it and run it against the repo. I just happen to make it so that it looks for it in the root. Need anything else right now? So I'm gonna triple check here. This is not going to do any git add, git commit, git push. All of this is commented out. We are gonna edit. We're gonna read the README file into a string. We're gonna edit it if it contains the old badge URL. We're gonna write it if we did change it, and that's it. So after this, we should be able to go inside libraries, drivers, any one of these. We should be able to open README and that's not what I thought I would find. Okay, my theory is that there were not releases made after the badge got changed. Yeah. And then because there was not a release made, it's not considered in the bundle. So do we use this as the old badge URL? Or do we try to pull inside of each one? I feel like we try to pull. Functionally wise, I think it probably doesn't make a difference. But I feel like it seems ever so slightly safer to be editing from the actual current state rather than editing from an older previous state that it's no longer in. Again, I doubt that it actually makes a difference, but that feels safer for whatever reason. So if we did git checkout main, git pull origin main, that should update it, I think. And then we do that before we read. Yeah. So let's try this on one. If we were to take this folder, put it inside of here. No. Go inside of there. Libraries, drivers, 2. And then, where does it run? Does it run? I think it runs from the root. Oh, no, okay. So it does not copy the folder. It only copies the file, actually. I'm going to delete that. Oh. That's not actually what I wanted to do. Get that back. Don't want to add it, we just want to undelete it. Okay. This is the one I changed, right? Yeah. Actually, I do want to take that and put it up here. Overwrite. And then really what I want to do is take this by itself and put it inside of here. And here is the one we actually wanted to delete. Okay, and again, even though I'm only running it on one right now, I'm going to go check again and make sure it's not going to commit anything. We're pulling, we're checking out, we're editing, we are writing. We're not doing any other git stuff. No add, no commit, no push. Okay. Oop. Already up to date. So it, maybe check out. Maybe checkout main actually was enough to, you didn't need to pull, but I don't know why it didn't do any of the rest of this though. How's it going, Keith? Same to you. Hope your day's going well. So one thing I don't remember, if I just delete this, basically I want to go back to how it was before I did anything. I want to get back to like how I can expect it to be when I run it for real. I think this will put it back. That put it back. Okay. So actually, let's go inside there. Try something. No, let's try it again without the pull. See if that, maybe this like technically failed and then caused the script not to go on. It's the only thing I could think. Or else like it didn't wait for this to complete before it read it, but it also didn't print this. So like I don't think this portion ran. I'm gonna make another. Change URL writing. But it didn't actually. This has new badge, broad GitHub user content. Found that. Oh, I think that. Yeah, this returns, it doesn't change. README, we need to go this. We need to do this. Yeah. Shouldn't do it in here though. I don't know if this will actually still exist. Yeah, this is in like a phantom folder that doesn't exist anymore. I don't know why these CDs seem to be going kind of slow. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So that one worked. Did it print? But it doesn't print which repo it's in. I'm gonna have it do that. Try it one more time by itself. Oh, I didn't change the right one. This is the danger with this, having too many copies of this thing. Keep changing the one inside the target repo and then deleting it, starting over. Be nice if I could print just the back half of this. How do you get the... Can I get the result of this as a string? Open.read. I want the last two things. Nope. -2? 2. There we go. -2:. Doing it again. So this will print like drivers slash the name of this, and then eventually when it gets to libraries, it'll print libraries slash. I wish there was a way to just make this not get stuck in this weird phantom place. That'll work. I don't know. I mean, the new line, we don't really want or need the new line. It'd be nice if they weren't in a list, which makes sense why they're in a list, but that's good enough, I think. Yeah, I don't think we actually need... Okay, close this. I don't think we actually need... How does that keep getting open? I guess it opens automatically when I paste it? This is how I keep getting into that. I don't think we really need this. We saw that it was working. Yeah, let's save that, and then let's re-up this one more time and then run it on all of them instead of just the one. So for that, we need, take this, put it in the root here. Did I not change that? Badge? Got change badge scripts. Okay. We got this, and it's on the old one. Old one. Oops. For each, it's going to run a Python script. The script it's going to run is up a directory, up a directory, up a directory. Is basically going from here up to drivers, up to libraries, up to bundle, and then copy badge files. Is here. Going to run that. After it's done, then it's going to run Python run on each, which is going to be a copy of this file that's actually in the root of that actual library. So like this one will be inside a 24LC32. It'll be that run on each right here, and it'll run it. Oh, I guess it does say entering. We don't really need this. Forgot about that. So it seems like that worked. This one definitely is changed and is got the new badge. Spot check a couple of them. Good so far. Let me do one inside of the other one of these helpers. Do a couple in here. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Some of them have a black. One has a black. This one doesn't. Yeah, that seems like it worked. So what I'm gonna do is, I think, okay, so copy this, first of all. Delete the bundle. And basically put this in a repo. Make sure clone bundle works. I deleted it again, but oh, I'm in another one of these phantoms. No, I don't think we need that. Looks like this is going to work out all right. I'll let it finish, and then I'll delete it. And then what? Actually, while this is running, what I'll do is I'm going to go here, make a repo. Can I just do git pull foamyguy main? Sort of. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, we got the license. Weirdly, this still thinks that we're on master. Branch main? Add this stuff. We got main. Ooh. Honestly, I'm not sure that I've ever done all of that correctly before, where I had GitHub create the license, and I had also separately already created other files, non-license files, and like actually got the license to come in and my other files to all end up together on the first try with a push. So hooray for that. What all did I do? I created it with the license. I did git pull foamyguy main. That gave me the license file. Then I did checkout main, because for whatever reason, I even tried changing this locally, but anytime I do git init, it creates master instead of main. I don't know if it actually creates it, but that's what it puts me on. Or that's what it will put me on if I push. Again, I don't know if it's actually created or not. You know what's interesting is this one has a capital I, so they're actually two separate commits, which I guess makes sense. Yeah, okay. So I think this will do what we need. I'm gonna let Kattni know about it, and then get back into SpriteButton, I think. Let's see. I guess this is not like private. I can put this here so you guys can actually see something. so you folks can actually see something. Say all right. Back to SpriteButton. So yesterday I created this SpriteButton, and we ran pre-commit right towards the end of the stream last night, and we saw that Pylint was complaining about a bunch of stuff. Some of it duplicated lines, some of it other stuff. I don't actually remember everything. We'll run it again. A bunch of duplicate line stuff. Not do this? I thought I did this. Did I really not do this? On the one on my device? How's it going here, Doc? I just swore I did fill in this copyright stuff. Maybe I'm thinking init? Did I put it in init? We don't need this button. No, there's nothing in init. Could go back and watch the tape, but it's really not that important, I guess. You can always just do it now. Could have swore I did, though. It's so weird. Yeah, this doesn't have anything. Also, this is different. Yeah, totally not. Weird. Trying to understand the issue with Seagrover's PR to the bundle. I think that it's... I put a comment on there. It was like right before I started streaming, though, so it's just a little while ago. I think it is that the release doesn't point to the newest PR. Not the newest PR. I think it's that the release doesn't point to the newest commit. I'm happy to entertain this rabbit hole for a minute as well. So, yeah. So what I noticed is that inside checks right here, this is the most recent one, and it says no tags can describe A66D75C, whatever. A66D75C being the short version. So it's trying on this commit to match it to a tag. That's not an issue, though. We have that all the time. I guess I can't say for sure that we do or don't, but I don't recall seeing it that way. And the way that this says no tags can describe, like, this is accurate. No tags can describe this. This is true to the best of my understanding, because there aren't, like, that commit's not part of a tag. If we go inside here, whoops. If we go inside of actually not there, but here, this one is the commit before. 3F7. I don't know how it chooses which commit when you make a release though. I don't think I've ever specified specifically. But then the actual latest commit is this A66 one, which this is the one that it tried to make the tag for and it couldn't do it, which makes sense, I think, because the only tag that it has is this one, which is the one before. Commit added to the bundle is not the tagged one. Yeah. Simver? I don't know, honestly, what that means too much. What did I get? Oh, this is just the same in this room here. I think that's what that was my best guess, at least, because I looked at the actions and I saw that it was that A66 one. And then the fact that it says it can't build a tag from it makes me think like it wants those to match, basically. Either the one, like whether it's the most recent one or not, the one that the bundle is trying to build the tag for doesn't actually have the tag. Oh, okay. Semantic versioning, I see. Simver. Yeah, I was going to say I don't think we do use the V on any of them, but I also didn't know if that would break anything. But I don't think I actually did mention that because I wasn't really sure about it. It was just kind of a I wonder. So yeah, this is crazy that I swear I did this. I must have like done it in one and then deleted it or something, because I have pretty vivid memory of pasting this and then changing this stuff. Maybe not though. I should not do it here though, right? I should do it in the repo. Actually, I should take the latest ones from here and paste them back to here. Already added to Git. And not already added to Git? Already added to Git. Hold on, what did I just do? Where did I just paste that stuff? Close all this. Open this. I don't like that. I don't know what I just did. Okay, this is what I want though. Whatever I did not add, so I guess it's, if I pasted it somewhere, it's at least not going to be in the repo. I'm not seeing it anywhere here though, so I don't, oh, there it is. Okay. Now I get it. Okay, now we're caught up. We're actually going to need this for this as well. Button is the original one. SpriteButton is the new one. So do we pass that pre-commit check now? When I make, let's see, update submodules should check out the latest tag in every module. I make sure that I have build sh. Seems to work locally and include the latest tag. When I make sure I have that. Update submodules. How many instance attributes? What are instance attributes? Is that self dot something? We're off by 1 again. Oh, no. We're off by 2 this time. Okay. I don't know. What is the, like, what is What is the philosophy of Pylint? Like, just don't make classes that do too many things, I guess? I don't know. Why is 11 the magic number of too many? Alright, instead of just adding the ignore for that, so we don't have any get ignores. I guess I'm thinking of the tile grid inflator. We added get ignores to something yesterday. It's been the tile grid inflator. Can do this one for me. You can make multiple instances, I guess, so it's still buttons. I don't know. So I think what I'm going to try to do is, first of all, go back to device and then start working there. That way we can actually test the changes as we make them. And I think I'm going to try button base group. We're going to take the part that's duplicated, try to factor this into a base class. I don't know how well it's going to work. Might give up. All the way through name for the arguments. Yeah, for sure. I just kind of like jumped to the conclusion seeing it not used in the file, but I mean I'm totally do think it's worth keeping if it's in use and it's useful. But yeah, thanks for mentioning it, honestly. What is this? Oh, it just doesn't want it. Okay. Some of the other stuff we duplicated as well, though, right? Label font, label color. Yeah. Selected label color? No, because it's called selected label. I really want that to have color in the name. Oh well. Do my best to ignore it. Okay, so this will initialize the group. And then I guess there's probably some more duplicated, like some of the initialization is duplicated, I'm sure, right? Maybe not, actually. Doesn't seem like it, actually. Really, there's, like, the label setup must be duplicated, right? I'm gonna close this so I don't accidentally edit code here. I'm gonna try to keep working on one place or the other. Would this be a good place to use quargs? They are. I think they are all using quargs. Well, XY width height are not. Those ones are positional arguments or whatever. But everything else is quargs. And I think it's fine to keep those as positional because they are required. It is weird how the height and width are different. We must have some more duplicated stuff, like all of this stuff, right? Well, no, not that stuff. But like this, label name, font, selected, width height, honestly, all of this. We don't need to do this after we do this, I don't think. Right? There's not XY is not a different property or anything? No. I think this is redundant. I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure when we pass XY to the group initializer, it's already going to be at this location. I don't think we need to set it. But I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to change it right now. This stuff is all duplicated though, right? Isn't it? It's that. I guess it's just not... Yeah. It is, but it's not... They're not all in the same spot. So let me actually move it. Font selected, name, label, all of this. I should already be cutting stuff out of here too, maybe. Module. Why? Misspell it? No? Does this need to be dot? Still didn't work. All right, this is mentally what I'm basing this on. So inside here we have label base, which extends group. Oh, too far. Huh. That's what I tried the first time. I guess maybe we have a circular problem or whatever. Like inside a init, it's importing this, and inside of this, it's trying to import base, but maybe it hasn't been loaded yet. Does that make any sense? This was down here. Does it work? Maybe. Definite maybe. We got farther. Okay. We'll probably have to pylon to ignore that, but that's all right. We're no longer doing this. Instead, we're actually calling super. Init. Actually, I guess is the same thing. We're just gonna have different stuff. We're gonna have XY width height. Basically gonna have all of the ones that are in base. Name, label. But these are not going to be none, they're going to be what we got passed. So it's going to initialize button base, all this stuff. It's going to do this, it's going to do this, this. These things can go inside button base. This can stay here, this can stay here, this can go in button base. Oh, we don't have check color. I guess we can... I just didn't use check color here. I guess we can put check color inside base. We don't really need this anymore. These stuff can stay here, this can stay here. This can stay here. This could go in base. Both of these things can go in base. Ooh. Selected. So if I put the getter property, no, okay, I think here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start by taking this and putting it in base. But here, we're basically gonna say that we're gonna call a function that's called subclass selected behavior, and we're gonna pass it value. By default, this does nothing. What? Oh, self dot? Is that gonna work? I don't know if that's gonna work. My inheritance might not be right. Let me print something from this. Print. Override me. Then basically take all of this and put it into here. So my hope is that this will end up calling this. I don't actually know if it will. Why do we need button in base? We don't, sorry, I'm a little behind the chat here. I'll catch up in a minute. We don't necessarily, I assume you mean this import, this thing. If that's what you mean, we don't need it. But if we have it, it makes it so that the import statements that are already written inside of examples and guide projects don't have to change. You could put base in a submodule. I don't want to have to make a different repo for it. Stretching my Python knowledge. Can you say a function takes in some quargs, then in the function see if one of the inputs was label font, handle it there. That was the function definition, doesn't need to take every possible. I think that's true, Keith. I think that's true, it doesn't, but also I think that I like it, even though they're redundant, I like them being there because if a person looks at this code, I want them to be able to see all the options without having to trace back to this one. I find like the portal base and stuff, libraries where there's lots of inheritance like that, it's confusing to follow what all the available options are. Whereas if they're listed here, even though it's redundant, you'd have fewer hops through the code to be able to figure out what actual options you can do. Maybe other folks will not agree with that viewpoint of mine, and that's totally cool as well. But that's my rationale for including them, even though they don't actually need to be there in the subclass. They need to be in. They would have to be in the base, but then we could take them out of the subclass. And again, maybe it's decided that that's not worth it, and that's totally fine with me if that's the case. But that's my idea and my rationale for doing it that way. So one other thing is actually we want a little bit of this behavior in base, which does make it a little bit also redundant, but really we want just the label stuff. Whoop. Oh, why does new label not get used? Let's see. Okay, so this actually goes in base. There we go. If they're redundant, you could make it a comment. Yeah, I mean, I would encourage anybody who is interested to leave feedback on the PR. I'm doing it this way because I like it this way. I'm open to other options, but I'm doing it this way for now. Comments are possible, but then I don't think they show up and read the docs the right way. So then, like, there's still a place where you can look and you can't find it. I would have to see, like, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe they do show up correctly, but I would like them to be listed in all the possible places, even though it causes like redundancy, because I think it makes it easier to use as a user, especially a user without a lot of experience. Like for me, I can make the hops, like I could follow it back and figure it out. But like I've been programming for 10 years. It's like kind of second nature to look through different subclasses and superclasses and stuff. For me, a lot of folks that use CircuitPython are much, much, much newer to programming. So it's like they're not going to be as like intrinsically able to trace backwards through all the classes to find stuff. Yeah. I do not know. Pilot may not like it. That could still end up being a problem, actually. Actually, I think it probably will be a problem because it's going to see this chunk duplicated, maybe. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Pilot may not like it. That's very possible. So this stuff we moved. So now this is only doing shape stuff, which makes sense. This one should be doing shape stuff. The other one will be doing sprite stuff. So what else can go in base? This could just go away. Honestly, it's been around long enough. Hopefully folks have changed their code. I'll leave it for now. I definitely don't want to put it in base. Contains can't go in base because the logic is different. His crux of it is that this one width and height are pixels and the other one width and height are tiles. Maybe we should change that though. I don't want to do it all at once, but that might be worth a look later on. So this is shape stuff, shape stuff. This is shape stuff. Sorry, I don't know why that took me so long to figure out. I'm thinking about this like, well, this is the body, but this stuff we could do. But no. This is all shape stuff. If we're using the SpriteButton, we don't have any of those things. This could be base, though. This could be base. And I will begrudgingly drop the color from my selected label color. Label color, this could be base. Do you think it's weird how width is pixels in one and not the other? Oh, this one is interesting. Create body inside width. I'm gonna leave that for now. Resize. I'm gonna leave that for now as well. Oh, you know, I don't think we made a resize. Yeah, maybe we should just bite the bullet and make width and height actually be pixels, and then they're gonna be wrong sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I like better. I don't like either option better, really. Because I don't, if we made width and height in pixels for the SpriteButton, it would make it behave more like the shape button, but the pixel values there could be wrong. Like if you set, if your sprites are 48 by 48, like the ones I was testing with are, which means that your tiles are 16 by 16, your width and height have to be, maybe what we do is we make it pixels, but we just put a check, and if it doesn't multiply correctly, then we raise an exception. Then they can behave the same, and we don't have to worry about the cases where they're different. Because the user will get an error, they'll know that they need to change it. That might be my best idea, I think, so far. The one that I like the best, at least. One that I dislike the least, I think, is actually a better way to put it, because it's still not another great choice, but it's better than the other ones, I think. So do we need this stuff in base? I don't think so, because they're going to be different. They're going to be totally different. Like the width setter, I mean, the getters, I guess, will be the same, but the setters will be different. These setters are doing like create body stuff, whereas the SpriteButton doesn't. And also, if we do put that check on width and height in the SpriteButton, then that will be occurring here as well, which it's not occurring here because you can make these arbitrarily sized. You're not tied to a tile. I think we leave those out of base. Let's save this. And then this is still crashing because it's a SpriteButton. We have not actually gone and updated most of the SpriteButton. We should maybe actually go back to testing the regular button first, though. Why don't we do that? I mean, I assume this will not run. This will definitely crash or not do what we want, probably. Crash. Oh no, it didn't crash. And it actually is pretty close, honestly. It's a lot farther than I thought it would get. The touches even work. Look at that. So our labels are messed up, but it's pretty good, actually. I'll take that. Why would our labels be messed up? Let's see here. So we did set label here. It should have done all of this. Should have done this. Did we see this override may get printed? Doesn't look like it. Label came in, we put it on underscore label. We also then went to put it in property label, and inside property label, it's here. did some of this stuff. Let's let it run and don't touch anything. See if it prints anything. Nope, nothing helpful at least. Why is this? So it should be creating a label, I think, right? Are we not getting into here? Print inside label prop setter. Yeah. Didn't spell that right, but that's fine. Well, this is kind of weird, actually. So this puts the string into underscore label. And then this actually goes and puts the label object into underscore label. But I guess that's how it's supposed to work. Print created label pending. We see those. We do. So I think the order is wrong. I bet that our labels are behind our shapes. Because this now executes before create body. Whereas it used to be create body got called and then we set the label afterwards. Is there a prepend? Does prepend exist? No, doesn't look like it. Is there a way to add at the beginning of a group? This is not the page I want. Insert. Index. Object. There we go. Oh. Ah, the shadows are messed up now. Let's put that back. Let's go create label after we create body. Don't do this. Okay. After we create the shapes, then call create label. Create label actually does set it, use the property, create it. Didn't pass text to it though. There we go. Okay, so that one is still working pretty well. Now we go to SpriteButton, and then we run Pylint and see if we actually made any improvements or not. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay. We can go back to SpriteButton test. Okay, so our super is going to be different. Actually going to be the same as this, which makes me think we're still going to have duplicate line problems. So we don't do this stuff. Don't do this. Don't need to do this. This would actually not be that, but instead... Actually... Let's not do this. Let's just go this, right? Why don't we just put this in each one? The end. Yeah. That better. It is awfully windy here, and I don't want to jinx anything, so I'm going to knock on wood. Knock on wood very, very lightly. But oftentimes, when it is super windy, sometimes my power goes out. So if I disappear suddenly, that's right, is my power probably went out. In which case, like, I'll try to post something from my phone to let you know in the Discord, but I probably won't be back because I can't stream without power. Just a heads up. Let's get rid of that create. I don't think we need that create label, right? We can just, yeah, I don't think we need that. This doesn't really add anything. $126. Surprised this isn't made any of these red. I don't know why it can still find it. Nice. Okay, SpriteButton still works. Okay, let's see what Pylint says. Okay, got hooked on black. Oh, I didn't delete label? Yeah, I didn't delete this stuff. I haven't done the height and width setters. I will still do that, and we'll enforce the tile size multiple. Yeah, we do get duplicates. I wish read the docs, or Sphinx, or whatever. I guess it's probably Sphinx. I wish Sphinx could pull through parent class arguments. I really want the docs to show all of the things you can do without having to like look at a different thing. Let's go inside of a knit or outside? Outside. It's unnecessary because I put the print. Still power lines above ground. Yes. Power lines are above the ground. That's not what I want. I don't know the syntax for pylon disable. I know roughly the syntax, but not perfectly correctly. It may be the case that this is not worth doing, but right now I think it is, because it makes it so we don't have to change imports. Maybe eventually we go back and change it. We go and change all the imports and give people time to start copy pasting the new correct way and then change it afterwards, but what was it? Don't disable, just put the class in an other file. But it's still in the wrong spot though, right? Or I guess this needs to be in there too. Also, we need a whole nother one of these. I don't know, I just went this way because display text is this way, and that's the one of these that I have done, this idea of like making the base class. It's not gonna work now, actually. I need to go back. I don't know. It didn't work when it was at the top. I had to move it to the bottom. I don't know what the specific error was, but we ran it that way before and it didn't work. We can try it again, but I'm gonna keep going down this path for now. If we go back, I'll try it again, but I did try it at the top and it broke. I think it like tried to import shape button, which is actually just called button, which itself was trying to import base, but base wasn't loaded yet, so that was my theory about what was wrong. I don't remember the specific error though. Group, why do we not have group, I guess? Oh, that makes sense. From well, but when I put it at the bottom, it started working. So it's not, I mean, if it was cyclical, it would be cyclical at the bottom too. At least that's how it makes sense in my mind. Maybe my understanding is wrong. But it wasn't just the virtue of it existing, it was the virtue of it existing before the declaration. It seemed to break it before. Oh, where was that? Yeah. Getting pretty close. Yeah, we still have a lot of duplicates, actually. I thought we were getting pretty close. That's not really true. Just didn't save. And refactor using cookie cutter. This we don't really have a fix for this. Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised as well, but it did. Now we're down to just duplicates, and our duplicates are super and init. Oh, it's selected. Oh, right. I need to make a what was it? Subclass selected behavior? I don't know why I made it up there. So we won't do this stuff. We won't do this stuff. No. Other way around. Other way around. We don't want the label stuff. We do want the other stuff. Yeah. Okay, now we're down to just the constructors. What if I take them out of the actual... signature? But keep them in the docstring? But then how do I use them if they're not... I'm so tempted to just silent ignore this. I really think the duplication helps make the code more clear. So okay, let's look at this. We have, this one is where we're calling super init. This one is the signature. This one is the signature. So calling super init, that's going to be duplicated no matter what. I don't think there's any way around that because we have to call super init to button base and we have to pass it all of this stuff. I guess we could change the order of these and then it's no longer duplicated, but that seems like not something we should do. But it would not be duplicated technically anymore. The signatures, I don't really want to get rid of them in the signatures. Have to run, have a fine weekend all. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Paul. You can always pile and ignore for now and come back in the future. Yeah. What is this like ours or something? Does this exist? Because they're inside of here, aren't they? I don't know how to get them back out of there. So, and we're initializing label base, so label base doesn't already have this stuff. We can't just go like self underscore width or anything. Just won't be there yet. Yeah, I don't know. But we are down to just the signatures and the super call. We got rid of all the other duplication, which is pretty good. Like all the duplicate properties are gone now. It's just the signature for init and then calling the parent init. Oh, I see. Button, shape button is in a different order. That's why the duplication between base and shape button is actually not as big as the duplication between SpriteButton and button base, because in SpriteButton I changed the order to be this. Realistically, I think it should be the same in shape button as well. But that'll make the duplicated part bigger. Okay, let's make sure this actually still works. but not large enough for label. Why would it be different? Oh. Hmm. Yeah. So it's comparing pixels to tiles, and it's not multiplying. It needs to be multiplying by the tile size. But because it's happening in button base, it doesn't know any better. Where's this from? It's line 100. Hmm. So what if we just did these things in here? Whoa. So height and width are going to return pixel size. And then this would actually be... I need parentheses, I'm not actually sure. Whoops. Oh, Right. So if we do it this way, we actually, here, we would need to go not tile size, but instead pixel size. So this is actually, well, these are actually easy, right? In this case, it's actually just this. Where's our text? Why are these not red? This doesn't exist anymore. Is there a label? Did I say that? Is there a label? Put that there. Let's go button. Let's see if shape button still works. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So what did we do? Why does the label work for shape button and not sprite button? So for one thing, is there any chance that this stuff could be causing trouble? What if we just don't do any of this? Basically stop checking for touches. No, still no label. And then now, of course, like, touches don't do anything. Makes sense. So that's not our problem. I mean, it must be ending up behind, right? Why would it be ending up behind? Because this does this, and then this, and that should be appending also. We should be appending both things. What did this print? And 3, which is correct. We don't really need to print it anymore. Whoa. That's super weird, because it worked before we made button base into its own file. But what would I have changed? Setting label, creating label, appending. The setting label comes first. And then created label appending. I do have text. How many? There should be one thing in the group before we add the label. Yeah. Does the label actually have text? Yeah. Hmm. That is weird. Label color none? So it's 0, but it's 0 hex, which is what it was before, and I had it changed to white when it gets clicked. Oh. Okay. So that's why we can't see it, because it's off the screen. Oh, I think I know what's happened here. I know what's happened. This actually does not need to... This does not need to multiply. Does it? Does it need to multiply in some cases and not others? So the color's not changing to white correctly? I know. I know why. I know why. We fixed this yesterday. But I must have done it inside of Sprite label. Yeah. There we go. Now we're back. Okay, and one more time, shape buttons. We didn't break anything on that side, did we? Looks good. All right, sweet. Copy this stuff back. I set up, oh yeah, I set up py because I made it packages. Black failed the first time. Violet failed, but it's the same duplicates from before. When we call super and our self init signature. So is there a way to limit the scope of this? Like, if I just put it here, does it only affect init? So I don't know the right thing anymore. Oh, and I don't think I have one to copy from anymore. Oh, there's one. Oh. What's this? Good code. No, that didn't change anything. Hmm. Does it need to be in both places? Still have the same three. Oh, now the disable is even part of the duplicate. That's cute. Did I do that wrong? Particular line? Merged like a month and a half ago. The big one. So 213.0. I don't know. I don't think this is the fix, but I'm curious. I mean, I think it's a fix that will work, but I don't think it's the fix that will want to be accepted. Actually, didn't have to put it inside of base. Does it only need to be in one spot? Nope, it needs to be in both. Interesting. Oh, asteroid error. Saw a thing in that release that said something about that. What is asteroid error? That seems like not a very helpful error name. Maybe I don't understand it. Maybe there's like a library called asteroid. Well, silent is frustrating sometimes. I know there's something in here that I don't know why it wouldn't have duplicate in the name though. Thought there was something in here. Minimum? This. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need 13 though. 12 did it. Does 11 fail? Does 10 fail? Okay. How far can we go here? Silent Limbo. 9. Interesting. I don't think this is the best fix either, because like if we add a new argument, we're gonna have the same problem again. I don't know though. I mean, this section, I'm trying to think. We have this problem in display text? Wargs. And how do the docs look? Yeah, see this, like, I don't prefer this. They are listed here, which helps. Better than nothing. In my opinion, it's worth making Pylint mad in order to make these docs better. And I believe, unequivocally, these docs get better if the actual parameters are listed here. Even though they're listed down here as well. Because now there's some question, like, why is this different than this? It's just a tiny bit more confusing. And I don't think... Basically, in my mind, the spirit of Pylint's purpose for existence is trying to make the code easier to understand by following the best practices. If the best practices don't lead to code that's easier to understand, they're not the best practices, in my opinion. But, like, lots of people have opinions on Pylint. I think, I don't know what the exact right answer is, but really I just think that Pylint should be... it's such a hard nut to crack too, though, because like my instinct is just to say Pylint should be better at knowing good duplicate code from bad duplicate code, but like how does it know that, right? I feel like super init, I mean, maybe they could carve out an exception for that, because I feel like this is a very commonly... This is going to be a very common problem if you're using this paradigm of base class and then multiple subclasses. You're going to run into this all the time. Unless you use kwargs like we did in display text, and then you get rid of all these lines, and you could actually get it down to one line, and then it doesn't matter that it's duplicated. Yeah. Have to head out. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, for sure. Take it easy, Keith. See you later. I'm actually going to be cutting it out here pretty soon as well. So yeah, I don't know. It's some stuff to think about. I don't have all the answers, but I do think this is not as good as it could be. And I do think it probably either was done this way explicitly to get around the Pylint problem, or if not, that was the reason. Maybe it just coincidentally was done that way and it happens to get around the problem. What is this one set to? 4, which was the same we started on. Yeah. So, yeah, it could be fixed that way. Fixed. We could make Pylint stop complaining, I think, if we used Quargs. I don't like it as much. I think I'm going to leave it like this for now, and then maybe, I don't know, we'll see if there's feedback on the PR ultimately. First I'm going to just push this, though, to my own branch, SpriteButton. foamyguy SpriteButton. And I'll make a PR from it real quick as well. Oh, why does this one always do this to me? Probably doesn't help that I click it every time. It probably helps keep it towards the top. Let's see. All right. And we need to link, where did I put this colon? From, I didn't put this, it's from. And this actually goes, no. Nope. Oh, I need to save. There we go. So I think what I'll do is I'll make this as a real PR, and then I think I'll go undraft this one. We didn't end up changing anything else, so I think that this one is probably ready. Oh, I didn't do an example yet. All right, well, I'll probably plan on coming back later today. I probably won't turn the stream on for it, but I'll come back later today, and I'll make an example for this, and then once that's pushed into here, I'll take this out of draft mode. And then we'll wait for reviews. Oh, what? He failed it. No, okay, that was weird. GitHub being pessimistic. In Twitch, I think you don't need a link when you type. You are right. In Twitch chat there, Hailrutan, you're right. If the PR is on the same repo. In this case, it's on a different repo. And then so it will look for numbers on this repo, but 54 is actually on a different one. You are right, though. If you do want to link to one that's on the same one, I have noticed that as well. Oh, this is actually 58, though, not 54. I don't know why I typed 54. Even says 58 right here. All right. Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate the heads up. Appreciate you looking out. All right. I'm going to head out for now. Going to get up and stretch out, get some food, move around a bit, maybe go outside. It's quite nice and sunny despite being pretty windy. So yeah, I'm going to do that stuff. Thank you to everybody for watching. C. Grover Keith, thank you for the follow. Hailrutan on Twitch there, appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be back next Friday for sure. Probably I'll be around sometime on Monday. If you want to follow me on Twitch, you can get the notification when I go live on Mondays. If I do, I don't always go, and it's not always at the same time, so it's not really a planned stream, but I do often end up streaming at some point on Mondays. But the next time I'll be back for sure is Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time. Let's use our fancy new show times. Oh, it's not running. Or I did it wrong or something. Oh, I closed it at some point. I don't even have the PyCharm window open for it anymore. So that command won't work. That's all right, though. But yeah, Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, I'll be back for Deep Dive, and that's on the Adafruit channel instead of this one. And then remember, next Saturday, I normally stream at 10 a.m. Central Time on Saturdays. That was about 3 hours ago is when I started. And I usually stream at this time slot every Saturday, but next week I'm not going to be around. I got 1 week off next week on Saturday, doing something different, but then I'll be back the following Saturday, and I still will be around for the Friday one. Curious, right before I go here, I'm going to look, oh, build docs. Okay, so we need to do something inside Sphinx to fix that up. So I'll do that later on as well. So thank you to everybody, and yeah, I'll catch you all next time.